Because when I put a report out on acting on climate like we did yesterday, that shows how dramatically our world will change if we don't act, I am doing that not to push back on climate deniers. You can have fun doing that if you want, but I've batted my head against the wall too many times, and if the science already hasn't changed their mind, it never will. But in any democracy, it's not them that carries the day. It is normal human beings that haven't put their stake in to politics above science. It's normal human beings that want us to do the right thing.
Which would make me a freaking lunatic. Are you kidding me? So you don't go along with the climate change thing. You're not normal. I don't have to go back more than a few decades to read cover stories in Time and Newsweek and Business Week and watch Leonard Nimoy hosted specials on the great global freeze to come and how polar bears are going to be ruling the earth because it was going to be frozen tundra everywhere. That was then. It was wrong then. It was accepted by 90+% of the scientific community then. I'm not saying they were right then or they're right or wrong now, but to not call those who abnormal? Pretty normal. Ben Stein, what do you think of this?
I think it's extremely serious for this woman who, by the way, doesn't look at all normal to me, to be describing people who disagree with her as not normal and I guess therefore mentally unbalanced. The science of this is not at all clear. There are extremely distinguished climatologists in a world more distinguished more than Madame, who is just speaking from the EPA, who say that global warming is not really happening and whatever is happening is not man-made. So, and a great many people, in fact, almost everyone says no matter what the U.S. does, it's not going to affect global warming very much. So I'm not quite sure what she's talking about, but bad policy to call your opponents insane.
Yeah, it might work for other news networks, but not here. Dagan.
When this government's policies and the Democrats' policies end up sending all of our fuel costs through the roof, Chuck Schumer, by the way, floating the idea of a carbon tax just this past week, guess what? The whole country is going to get freaky and weird and doggone angry.
Gaspa.
This reminded me of that scene in Goodfellas when Joe Pesci's screaming at Henry Hill, "You're not normal, Henry, you're not normal. You're not a normal human being."
Well, thank you for that little
That woman
artistic reference.
was a freak.
Yeah,
That's
all
all I'm going to say.
We don't want to go to that same level. You don't respond to this by getting to that level. All right, Charles.
I guess you're saying Joe Pesci could play her in the movie?
Yes.
In the movie version? Okay.
Or Joe Pesci could take over the EPA.
You're not normal.
I think there was like 1,000 years when all the smartest people on the planet said that the universe revolved around Earth. You know, listen, the science is settled.
It doesn't?
Junk. You know, the science is settled is really sort of amazing. It's ridiculous, and like you said, the normal part is her. The way she is speaking is really desperation more than anything else.
Well, you know, I'm going to take aside however people feel on climate change, and other people strongly feel it's real, it's man-made, whatever. That's fine. I'm not going to start arguing. I'm going to argue over the way you sell your strategy. And Julie, you would even have to admit, because you, if any of you are a very erudite, pragmatic type of a liberal who sees,
Is she normal?
who
Keep
sees,
going. I'm normal-ish.
What normalish?
I'm normal-ish.
I didn't want to call you normal, but thank you for normalish. But you would have to
Someone
admit this
Gasparino
has
with
to
that impression.
hurt that cause when someone speaks like that, right?
Yeah, look, I agree with her, by the way, about the fact that, you know, unless you're a flat earther, the science is pretty much settled. But I wouldn't insult people who disagree with me by saying they're not normal.
Before you were born, and these news stories are everywhere about the
Science
great
is settled.
frozen earth. What would you have said then? What would you have said then?
I don't know, because that was before I was born. I'm not as old as you, so I don't know the answer
By
to
the way,
that.
Julie, the science isn't settled.
Well, it is
So then
settled
to
by
say
about
it's settled is not normal.
About 99% of the world's climate scientists
No, it is
think
not.
it is
That
settled.
is a
come on,
complete
99%.
With
Where'd you
great
pull that
respect
number
to your
out of?
youth and beauty, that is not true. With great respect to your
Where'd you
youth
pull
and
that
beauty,
number out
that
of
is not true.
99%?
I'm using
That
what?
is
That's
not true.
Where did you pull
No, I
that
said with
number
great
out of?
respect to your youth and beauty, that is not true. There are a great many distinguished climatologists who dispute that.
Very
And I
few.
would say,
Very few.
I wouldn't call it wacky, that what you just said, but wackish. But I want to thank you, Joe.
You're not normal, Julie.
Stop it. You're not normal. I want to thank Dagan, and I want to thank Charles. Look at the time.